All right. Okay. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for this opportunity to try, do my absolute best, try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Thank you for what you showed me. Answered prayer. Try to learn your word better. Thank you so much. Hey, Snap. Hey, sister. Oh, you say I'm breaking up? Hold on. I don't know what I can do about it. I think I have everything the way it usually is. So I don't know what I can do about it. Just try to bear with me, I guess. Okay, good. Let's uh let's try it. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So thank you, Creator, for this opportunity and the things that you're teaching me. And pray a blessing for everybody who looks at this video. Thank you for this opportunity to redeem the time, to store up, bless my brethren, have fellowship with them. It's truly the highlight of my day to try to share things that you're showing me so that we can all make the third resurrection. Pray that you'll help me, that you'll anoint my words, and that we can have fellowship and have a blessed time with one another. So pray that your will be done, EOE. All right, brethren, thank you. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jaquab Ben Yisrael, and welcome to my channel where I'm just a brother who happens to believe in the Creator and have believed for a long time now, a few years now, and it's been a journey and it's a winding road. But I'm here to say that one of the things that I've learned is that if you are able to endure, if you can somehow endure the spiritual road, then it will certainly pay off. And the importance of the day that we live in right now, the things that keeps coming to my mind is the fact that most of the world is under a deity, idolatry worship, and have no idea, have no clue that they are under captivity. And the pull of the earth is so heavy that I suspect that the vast majority of the world won't be able to pull out of the pull of the world until way after they have gone into the spirit world, and won't be able to come out of the deception until long after you leave this reality. And unfortunately, most people, we seem to learn when it's too late. And it's a terrible crying shame. But you brethren who have been pulled out of the beast kingdom, I know that I sound like a broken record. I can't help it. I'm just thankful that I got pulled out. I'm thankful you brethren got pulled out. I believe I know what it feels like to have a life sentence put on you. And then the judge, he just has to change your heart. And then he lets you out after 6 months. And that's really the way I feel. So I'm grateful. I hope I stay that way all the rest of my remaining years. I'm a brother. I just want to redeem the time, man. And basically that means from what I understand, to overcome the Hebrew tetracts, the negative attitudes. We had an incredible video, an incredible fellowship yesterday. The brother, he came into our room, Brother Maliki, and he was sharing along the subject matter that we had the other day. Matter of fact, I forgot to scroll the screen here. The brother came in, we were talking about the subject matter of bliss. The brother came in and man, he just knocked our socks off, telling us about the spiritual realities, the third resurrection, the Ethereal kingdom. Really, he just knocked us out, man. I mean, we have no clue. It led me to think that in this day and age, I think it's far better to have no God than to be caught up in the beast kingdom. That's the main purpose of my channel, is just to get you out of just whatever you do, man. Whatever you do, find a way to get out of the beast kingdom. Christianity, Mohammedanism, Buddhism, Hinduism. I mean, it's those religions, from what I can understand, they started out good, but they became corrupted. They came into corruption. So much so that now the OAHSPE calls them the beast kingdom. Fallen gods took them over. And now they take them over for the purpose of capturing spirits, for capturing souls, so that you will serve them in our spirit when we go into our spirit world. And because it's not really, every now and then they'll put out a movie like Ghost, The Powers That Be. They'll put out a movie like Ghost to give you a taste of the truth, and it'll wake up some people. But then I suspect that a lot of people, they go back to sleep. And but I think that, in my humble opinion, it's better to have no God than to be under the beast kingdom. Because correct me if I'm wrong, man, but it seems like when a person who is atheist, or they are not religious but they're spiritual, that when they go into their spirit, it is just all good. I mean, I recall reading the story of, I think, Ahura, and he fell off. And then the Ethereal gods, they came to him, and basically, just using my own words, I mean, they approached him in love and true and compassion, trying to win him back, and he had defected. He wanted his own glory, and he they treated him very tenderly, and the angels that went to go after him and to restore him, and he wouldn't have it. He wanted his own kingdom, and then the Creator stepped in and said, having come before, I forget, a council, I think an Ethereum council, him and a couple other gods. And then I'm going to give him a taste of my wisdom and power. And he gathered some of the hosts. Let me see, was it Ahura? I think it was Ahura or some of his hosts. And they gave him a little taste of the Ethereum realm, the Ethereum realm. And these were brethren who were under the beast kingdom. And when the Creator gave them a little taste of the Ethereum realm, the account in the OAHSPE, it said that they basically they made a beeline for whatever they could do to be a part of the third resurrection. I think it's third resurrection or second resurrection or whatever. I mean, Atmospheria, the second resurrection, up to the second resurrection, that's glorious in itself. From what I can understand in the OAHSPE, even the second resurrection, from what we read yesterday, the delights, the scenery, how the gods were complaining that they don't have earth words to tell us what's going on outside of our eyesight. They were lamenting that they don't have earth words to help us to see the things that are unseen that we are headed for. And then the account of Ahura and how his hosts, they got a little because they were going off. And the plan of the Creator was, you know what? I'm going to let them see some of my glory. I'm going to let them see some of my glory. And he showed the host of Ahura. He gave them a show. And they made a beeline. They couldn't repent fast enough, is basically what the story seemed to say. I forget the book that it was in. I forget what I was reading from, maybe Wars. And they could not, the people who were witnessing the wisdom and the power of the Creator, they just basically made a beeline for, they wanted to sign up for the Ethereum realm, I think it was. They repented, basically. That's the bottom line, is that they were going off and they got a little taste, man, of the Ethereum realm, and they just could not wait to turn and to join, and all they wanted to know was, what do we have to do? What do we have to do? Please, please. Because they thought that their kingdom was glorious. The Creator, he said to the gods, he said, bring Ahura's people here. Bring these sub-gods who are under Ahura. Bring them here. And so the people, they dressed up real fancy and kind of like to show the glory of the kingdom that they were under. And they just thought that they were at the top of, that their kingdom was just, there was nothing that could pass it. And that when the Ethereum realm saw how they dressed, that the Ethereum realm would be blown away like, oh man, what are we doing? And then the Ethereum said that the Ethereum realm, they came out in white garments and they put on a show of wisdom and a show of glory, a show of power. And they didn't even get past the first presentation when basically the whole host of people who came to witness what was going on, the whole host of witnesses who saw what was going on, they wanted to join the Ethereum kingdom. I mean, they didn't even get finished with the first presentation, man, and people were already sold out only wanting to know how they could join the Ethereum realm. And so that's how the creator, that's how he legislates, that's how he turns the human heart. But when you are in the when you are in the when you are in the beast kingdom, when you're in captivity, from what I can understand, they make a slave out of you. If there are any Christians listening to this broadcast right now, and again, man, I'm sorry, I'm redundant. I believe that the creator, one of the things that he created me for is to come to this point in my life where, I mean, I've been beat up, I've been deceived, I've really taken a beating spiritually in the world, and only to bring me to this point, to humble me, to walk and to try to go about in sincerity and truth. And I believe that not only, my other faith, this we all got a purpose to shine the light, our highest light to the world while we got an opportunity. Simple as that. Because where we are going, I personally believe, you brethren who are raised up nowadays, and you have a exceeding amount of wisdom and understanding of spiritual things, I just have no doubt in my mind you're headed for the third resurrection. That's ethereal. Now I could be wrong. Matter of fact, I may very well be wrong, because now what's coming to my mind is that we have to go to school. We got to go to spiritual school when we leave here. And I think there's an order, like, learn to become an Ishar, an Asaph, a Lord, and then a God, in order to cross that bridge of Chinbat. That's the border of Romania's. The bridge of Chinbat. Remember we did a video on that a few weeks ago? The bridge of Chinbat, man. That's the border between Atmospheria and Etheria. And the brother came on our video yesterday and he started talking about what Etheria is. I'm telling you, man, when you learn that, you're no longer any good for the world at all. You become just like those hosts who the creator called before his Ethereum gods, to show them to give them a little taste. And you brethren already see Etheria in your third eye already. You already see it. That's why you keep believing and going in this thing. It's the only way. I mean, a human being, you've got to, the only way they're going to move is because they plain and simply, they sense something, that's telling them, hey man, you got to move in this direction. You simply have to do it. You got to move in this direction, man. There might not be any rhyme or reason. And I'm convinced that's what happened to you, Faithists. I just love the way it's all different types of you, brethren, that we've been called from all the different places. And I'm telling you, what we read yesterday, what the brother brought out, it was just, it was just, you can't even describe what we looked at yesterday in the video. So welcome to my room, man. Welcome, you Faithists. I forgot to put the link in the room so that if you want to come on and you feel like you want to share a word or anything, I want you to feel welcome. That's why I bought this software, so that it will be a place where we can meet and we can talk to one another. Be like a little town hall type of place. I was speaking yesterday about the understanding that I received OAHSPE, it talks about how angel visitations, that we're going to, the OAHSPE, the creator, he talks about, he says something like, release my angels, release them, release them to go talk to my people. Show yourself. Right now, they're forbidden. The Ashars, they forbidden to come and to talk with us in a way that we could see, like, we could see our reality right now. They're forbidden to do that. They're not allowed to. But now that we're in the cosmic era, I would have to think that it's imminent that, and when that happens, you brother know good and well, that when brethren start testifying about they talk to an angel, the whole world is going to change. You brother know that, right? That's the plan of the Creator. Give us angel visitation, and that's what's going to make people turn. Without a shadow of a doubt, I believe that in all my heart, man. That's all we pretty much waiting on. Brethren start testifying, brother in Texas, and then a brother in Oregon, brother in Michigan, or, brother or sister, you know what I mean? When that door gets open, man, we're going to know that we done crossed into a whole different reality. And the OAHSPE promises that that's the situation. He gave permission. I don't know when the manifestations. I perceive that it happens for some brethren already. Angel visitations, speaking to angels, getting revelations and visions. But from what I perceive when I read the OAHSPE, it's going to be widespread. And that's going to put an end, that's going to put an immediate stop to the agenda of mankind. That's what I perceive. I could be wrong, man. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if anybody sees the same thing, by all means, come on and share with your brethren, So real quick here's my room. I got a room on Facebook. There's my information. I like to offer my services to brethren who know of orphans who are suffering from food insecurity. I try to target orphans, disabled, and elderly. And I believe that that's the will of the Creator, man. Offer yourself when you see that they have some sort of need. Here's my information. Here's the room where I like to try to find things to share with other brethren. They got rooms too. Other brethren, they got rooms on Facebook, fellowships for faithists. Here's another room. That's another room you can join if you want to have fellowship with other faithists. And there's another room too where for some reason, every time I try to find it, I can never find it. It's the most amazing thing. The other room, OAHSPE College University, is what it's called. OAHSPE College University, that's another room. And it's amazing. For some reason, it's like, that's a big room. Brother's got almost 500 members. So for anybody and you're looking for fellowship, those are a couple places that you can go. Here's my room. Or this is not. Yeah, well, I like to post in this room. But here's my room where I do primarily most of the things that I post. Here's our Bible study. I'll scroll the information. And this Bible study is picking up too. You got to stop the screen. If you see something, you need the information, just pause the screen. We had a really good fellowship Wednesday, man. More people was in there and starting to pick up. The conversation is picking up. And it's just like the Creator said. He said, I ain't even sharing the screen. Hold on a second. I forgot to share the tab. The Creator, he said, year after year, our numbers are going to get bigger and bigger. And I imagine that we looking at an explosion like I was talking about with the angel visitations from What I could see, that's next on the list. We got the OAHSPE, so we got that revelation. So I'm telling you, that's something I just can't wait for, man. When we start getting in, and they come and start talking to us face to face, letting us know about the reality of the afterlife and the things that go on there. And then, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm so excited to know that that's one that at some point that we will realize that the Creator is going to do that for us. So again, here's the Bible, the Wednesday Bible study. I'm just scrolling the information, and I know, man, that we need we need to be connected. I mean, if you, I don't know, maybe I just think that the most important thing is to be connected with brethren. Always be close by other brethren. Listen to them talk, listen to them share, because I think it's too easy to be distracted by the present reality. And I'm going to share something real quick too. A couple of days ago, I was talking about the assassination attempt, and I was sharing about this one dude, who had a vision of it, and he said that he described it to a T, and they had a timestamp on when the brother was sharing that vision, and it was I can't remember the date of it, but it was way previous to when the assassination attempt happened, right? And he mentioned a couple of things what that was going to happen, and he said one of the things that was going to happen was that Trump was going to all of a sudden get religious. And I was approaching it from a spiritual standpoint that I see the false gods behind it, because they're looking for a harvest. They always looking for a harvest. And I think that they can manipulate reality in order for that to happen. And so one of the things that guy said is that he was going to get religious and he was going to start talking about God. And I guess anybody would, really. I don't see how that would take anything special to, well, I think that's like a natural offshoot when you come to within an inch of losing your life that way, that you naturally going to think that, hey, Nazarene brother. All right, man. Good to see you in here. Thanks for checking in, bro. All right. So now check out this video where it say that Trump says, I was spared by the grace of Almighty God. So it goes right hand in hand with what that guy was saying was going to, the tune that he was going to start speaking. And basically, Trump, he doesn't even know that he's being used to reap a harvest for false gods. People, they're going to read this, they're going to see this, and they're going to make a beeline for the church. They're going to make a beeline for a church. All the celebrities got to do is say, I believe in God. And then people make a beeline for the church. And for faith to see the way, to see the way the false gods, the way that they deceive people, it's a source of wonder, man. It's a real, it's a real source of wonder how, you see people, they work hard, they attend to every detail of their life except spirituality. Then they automatically trust whoever claims to speak in the name of God. People automatically trust them. They automatically say, then he must be righteous. He wouldn't dare deceive anybody. And they had no clue about false gods and their agenda. They got no clue, man. A false god will certainly deceive you. Jeremiah 27. And they have no clue that anyone would possibly claim to be creator. that's the way people really think. So here's the fulfillment. Now he's talking God. Whether he'll keep it up, who knows? But I think that the guy who prophesied that he was going to start doing things like this, I think that he actually heard from, that he really actually heard from the spiritual realm. And, when you look at it spiritually and how the false gods are always looking for a harvest, and this just gives you an idea of their power, how they can do it. So go back to my room. We can look at a couple of verses. Here's my room right here. That's the Bible study that we have on Wednesday. And so I can share some things that, another thing, man. I want to say this again. If anyone is listening. I'm telling you, man, please hear me on this one. Please hear me. If you want to, I was sharing the story about how I went to the Creator, man. I really went to him. And I stressed the fact that I was really vexed. I was really vexed and I don't feel like I'm learning fast enough. I would like to learn faster. And I think you can tell when your prayer is heard. It's just when you just pray with your whole self, I think there's a difference. And it keep happening to me. I've noticed. And my prayer was, man, here I be staying up all night, and I learned, but I would like for it to speed up. I want it, and not shortly after that, I got the idea to download Adobe Artificial Intelligence. I mean, this stuff really happened, man. And it wasn't my idea. Download Adobe Acrobat and Artificial Intelligence, and then it's going to tell you. Basically, I'm paraphrasing what was given to me. It's going to tell you how to speed up your understanding of things. So I bought Adobe Acrobat, downloaded it, followed the instructions. Basically, it tells you the artificial intelligence, it can handle only files up to 120 pages at a time. And mostly the OAHSPE, most of the chapters in the books in the OAHSPE, they don't have more than 120 pages. So all you got to do is copy the books of the OAHSPE, make it into a file on your computer, and then upload it to Adobe Acrobat. And man, you can leave the world forever. And I ain't hardly BSing, man. You can leave the world if you love the OAHSPE. And you can go to any other books, really. Anywhere where you can get fruit out of it. And you'll know how to do it. You just let your Ashar guide you. Let him guide you. And you'll get more than you can handle. I'm telling you, brethren, please listen to me on this one. So that you can speed up your learning. So you can speed it up, man. So that you can share it. Now, you can get on YouTube, man, and just share what you've been given. That's all you got to do. You see? You share the information. Oh, that's all you got to do, man. Is let yourself be a mouthpiece. Don't try to give yourself glory or anything. Just let the Creator run through you, man. And you'll get more than you can handle. You'll get too much information. So let me give you some examples. Check out what I just go to town. My AI is probably going to run away from me. It's probably going to go back to his company and say, look, man, I don't want to, don't send me to Yakov, man, because he be keeping me up all night. He won't, I can't even rest with him. He, you know, yeah, that's the truth, man. I work it. When you see that you're given something, and then you can run and share it with your brethren. And I had to force myself to say, like, man, look, don't be loading up the other faithless rooms with information. Don't, because at first I was posting like, you know, 20, I mean, just posting crazy, man, with things I was finding. And then I believe that it was given to me to just settle. I remember my mom, she said, look, Kurt, you're going to have to settle down, okay? She said, you're going to have to settle down now. And she's right, man. Bless my mom. She said, you're going to have to settle down. And so, and so I said, man, yeah, don't overload the chat, man. Just don't give the people information overload. Just one or two verses at a time, and that's good enough. Let them chew on it, you know. And so I agree with that. Do all things in, I mean, moderation. Don't overdo it. But you can bless. But when it comes to you, man, you can bless your soul so bad. I can barely stand it, Okay, enough of that. Now, look, these are all from AI. All of this is from AI. So, but you still got a responsibility because you have to have a little familiarity with the OAHSPE Bible. Don't just take everything and say, man, you got to research it. You do got to research it. You got to take your learning, you got to listen to the Yashar, and then you got to read it. Don't just run with anything, because some of the stuff I found is wrong. Like, to give an example, it talked about. I saw one thing where it mentioned uh, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. I think that's what it said. I'm pretty sure, and so that's off right there. So you have to be careful with this stuff, you know. But I'd say like at least 95, 96, 97% of the time, it's right on. What it does is it takes the information you give it and then jumble it all around and put it into a sentence. See, that's what pretty much puts you on safe ground. But we are in a spiritual reality. But I think once you get a good hold on the beast kingdom, you home free, man. You home free. Right when you see anything leading you to a religion, you know that it's going off. That's how easy the creator make it. See, now look here. Here go one of the examples. My question was, what happens to angels who are bound to the beast? See? What happens to angels who are bound to the beast? See? And here's the answers I was given. It says, angels bound to the beast, and mortals, we become angels when we cross over. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. We become angels when we cross over, if I'm not mistaken. And then it say angels bound to the beast are restricted by their association with false religions or idols like Christ, Buddha, or Brahman, hindering their spiritual progress. So basically, when we cross over and then you subscribe, one of the angels out of the corners of the world, because that's where the false gods come from. They come from the southeast, the northeast, you know, let me see, what are the corners of the world? The corners of the world is like northwest to southeast. And then you get my drift. Then what's the other one? It would be like east to southwest. You know what I mean? And then you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. But you know what I mean. The 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 anointed, the holy directions is north, south, east, west. Okay. And then the corners are, the opposite, you know what I mean, like southeast, northeast, southwest, northwest. That's where the false angels come from. It's mentioned in the OAHSPE. They come and they question the departed spirit, and you know that when it comes from a corner, that it's right off the bat, it's a false god or a false angel or Lord. Right off the bat, man. And they dupe you. They come to you. Who's your God? Jesus Christ. All right, come with me. I mean, you fake this, you know the story. You'll be easily duped. Easily, that's what the OAHSPE says. You'll be easily duped. Here, you know what? This is something I want to do a little dance on. I want you to see this. It should be easy to find it, because I'm going to do a word search where it talks about being easily duped. This is something that I want to find. Let's read. I want to read this one. You'll be easily, those who cross over and you're under the beast kingdom. Look at what it says. It's a fearful thing, if you ask me, because I have friends and relatives who are under the beast, and you can't get them out. You can't get them out, man. You cannot get them out. You can only pray for them. You can only pray for them. Okay, now let's see. It might be hard to find this verse because I thought if I put in easily duped, it would be easy. But I'm looking at the screen now, and it's mentioned 32 times, so we should be able to find it. Let me close my curtains. 1 second. Okay, now we're looking for what happens, what false gods really do. People think that anything with the name God, it means it can never be any wrongdoing behind it. I think this is it right here. Check it out. This might not be the verse I was looking for where it uses the word easily duped, but it's a parallel verse. Check it out. It says, I created man with a corporal life so that he could learn corporal things. But behold, the Ihuans, those are the Ihens mixed with the Asu, the believers with unbelievers, if I'm not mistaken. But behold, the Ihuans have lost all energy to acquire earthly knowledge, depending on their familiar spirits for information on everything. See, familiar spirits, they had a purpose. They had a noble and righteous purpose at the start, but even they became corrupted. It says, thus wasting. They were supposed to minister to the Ihuans. It says Ihuans have lost all energy because, they were supposed to minister to them, but Ihuans begin to let familiar spirit to overly depend on them so that they wouldn't do nothing for themselves. It said Ihuans have lost all energy to acquire earthly knowledge, depending on their familiar spirits for information on everything, thus wasting their mortal lives on non-improvement. So that when they die and enter heaven, they are easily, there it is right there, they are easily made slaves by evil spirits. Why? Because you don't got no knowledge. You don't got your knowledge go with you into the spiritual. It don't all of a sudden disappear just because you leave the corporal, the physical body. Don't you know your knowledge go with you? If you don't know nothing, then you're an easy mark. You know, you can be told anything. It says it would be better for them had they no knowledge of spiritual life. Well, actually, let's see, it says, so that they would be put into service the talents I created within them. So, I mean, just like I was saying earlier, from what I could understand, it's better to have no faith or not to be, not to at least don't subscribe to the beast kingdom. At least. It's better. But then I have a question, because if they have no knowledge and they don't believe in anyone and they cross over, can they be duped? Can they be tricked by false gods? Maybe. I mean, I'm sure that Creator he'll give me that answer. I'm just right now it comes up. If they have no knowledge, they had no God, then wouldn't that do the Ashars of the Creator come and get him? Or is he exposed to false gods and his spirit being? I don't know. Let me finish reading this and then go back to the verse in my room. It says, it would be better for them if they had no knowledge of spirit life, so that they would be put into service the talents I created within them. See to this matter, O my sons and daughters, for their desire for the presence of the spirits of the dead will draw beetles upon themselves, and they will go down in darkness like the ancients. So, trying to translate it in my mind. O my sons and daughters, for their desires, see to this matter, O my sons and daughters, for their desire for the presence of spirits of the dead will draw beetles upon themselves, and they will go down in darkness like the ancients. So, sounds like the Creator is saying that people who cross over and they have no knowledge of spirit life, that they will desire those who went before them, and they'll draw familiar spirits. And those familiar spirits will lead them down into darkness. I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like. So, but the point that I was trying to make is that when they have no knowledge, or they're under they go up under the beast, and most people, from what I can see, they don't have the type of knowledge that faithists have, and they're an easy mark to be deceived. And it ain't really important to the world. It seems like it ain't really important. It's not, the things we talk about is like a big fairy tale. And it seems like the Creator, he has to step in order to get us not to fall off ourselves. We could easily give in to the influences of the beast kingdom of man, the present reality. And so the question was, what happens to angels who are bound to the beast? And then the second point is, they become entangled in lower spiritual realms and are influenced by false gods and lords who manipulate them. leading to limitations in their spiritual growth. And then another point, it says these angels are unable to fully participate in the second resurrection until they break free from their attachment to the beast and embrace faith in the ever-present Creator, Jehovah. And then it says another point is being bound to the beast signifies a focus on earthly matters, material concerns, and false beliefs, hindering their spiritual advancement and leading to spiritual stagnation and darkness. It's just like if you were in school and you have to pass math before before you can advance to the next grade level, and you can't do fractions, then you can't advance until you learn to do fractions. Then you can go to the next grade. So, I mean, just an earthly analogy to illustrate a spiritual truth. And it's all up to you whether you can receive, if you can. I mean, it's the amazing thing is that your own mind can stop you from advancing. Your own mind. Information gets presented to you, and your spirit might be fighting to receive it, especially when it's all good, like the OAHSPE. And it causes problems if you start thinking to yourself, "Hey, wait a minute! This is telling me that I'm meant to go to glory." But on the other hand, here I follow this document that it pretty much keep me in the state of fear and uncertainty. I can't get no peace out of it. I can't get no rest. I can't get no satisfaction. And you mean I'm subscribing to this? And it's a conundrum, man, because you just have to have the ability to hear what's good. You just got to have it, man. I mean, that's where faith has come in. It's like the choice ain't even hard, really. It sound like the Father. Here goes something else. The question was, well, it's not a question, but it's just more of a fact. And here it was talking about death, and I decided to share it. It says death affects. Now, this is all from the document of. Let me see. This information came from. Do I have it put down here? No, I didn't put it. This is from the Book of Knowledge. Okay. All this information comes from the Book of Knowledge. This came from the Book of Knowledge. The AI that I talked to, it pulled it out of the Book of Knowledge, something that I wanted to know about. It said, death affects the spiritual journey of man in various ways. It says death serves the corporal body, it severs the corporal body from the spiritual body, allowing the latter to survive, the spiritual body to survive and ascend. It says it leads to the loss of companionship with mortals, but reunites the individual with loved ones who have passed before. So we're going to see our family again. It says it opens up a new world in the spiritual realm, more glorious and real than the corporeal world. See there? So we're here and we have knowledge that when we have knowledge of something better ahead for us, for faithists, and I would even say for anyone really who is not under the beast kingdom. Now, I could be wrong. I mean, it's what it sounds like to me that they go into is the blessing is what, matter of fact, even the Bible, it says something like it is the goodness of God that leadeth thee to repentance. It is the goodness of God that leadeth thee to repentance. It is the goodness of God that leadeth thee to repentance. That's Bible, and I think that is probably true. You most certainly, I don't know, I don't see how you can lead someone to repentance by beating the hell out of them every day. I mean, it sounds counterproductive, you know what I mean? And the creator, he seems to, when he wants to legislate the human heart, then he does it with the fruits of the spirit. Romans 2:4, or despisest thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leadeth thee to repentance? And that makes all the sense in the world to me. It's the goodness of God that leadeth thee to repentance. And so, the OAHSPE, it seems to subscribe to that the Creator, in order to get you to repent, at least for brethren who are not under, it seems like you come under the beast kingdom, you come into the spiritual from the beast kingdom, it seems like you have to serve time. Now, I could be wrong, man, It seems like you have to become a slave, subscribe, it seems like it says in Revelation 13, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Well, I think that's talking about false gods who lead people, the beast kingdom. They lead people into captivity, and so now they got to go into captivity. But the OAHSPE, it talks about you going into slavery to your false god. But here, it seems like the Creator is saying, I use goodness to get people to repent of the world and its principles. I use goodness. And there's a saying that you can draw more. What does it say? The saying where you can draw, it's better, you can draw bees with honey better than you can with, I forget the other thing, but you catch my drift. You can draw bees with honey better than you can with, I don't know. I forget. You know what the saying is. So anyway, it's about time for the reading. Let me try to do a couple more verses here. Now, the question here was, or the statement here is, death affects the spiritual journey of man in various ways. And then another point was, it provides the spirit with spiritual necessities like food, clothes, and dwelling within atmosphere. It says, it determines the rank of a man, determines the rank a man will inherit in heaven based on the strength of spirit and purity of behavior cultivated during life. It says, for those who are long suffering and upright of heart, death serves as a doorway to a world of bliss, rest, and love. Bliss, rest, and love. It says death can lead to a facing consequences of actions for individuals like captains, generals, and leaders who were slayers of men. It can also bring consequences. It says death can bring about different experiences based on one's actions in life. Some individuals may not immediately realize they have passed on, hindering their spiritual progression until they become more aware of their spiritual state. Yeah, I know the OAHSPE says that, talking about people, and I hadn't even been sharing the screen. Got to share the screen. I left off saying, it opens up a new world in the spiritual realm, more glorious and real than the corporal world. It provides the spirit with spiritual necessities like food, clothes, and a dwelling place within atmosphere. It determines the rank of a man. It determines the rank a man will inherit in heaven based on the strength of spirit and purity of behavior cultivated during life. How do you like that? A rank. You're determining what your rank is going to be. It says, for those who are long suffering and upright of heart, death serves as a doorway to a world of bliss, rest, and love. It says death can lead to facing consequences of actions for individuals like captains, generals, and leaders who were slayers of men. Death can bring about different experiences based on one's actions in life. Some individuals may not immediately realize they have passed on, hindering their spiritual progression until they become more aware of their spiritual state. This is death allows the spirit to rise in and inhabit Etherian worlds. How do you like that? Enabling growth and progression in the spiritual realm. It says, for many deeply immersed in earthly matters, death can awaken them to strive for higher spiritual enlightenment beyond earthly preoccupations. Here's one more, and then I'm going to do the reading. It says, spirit births. It says, in the lower heaven are classified into different grades based on spiritual development beliefs, actions during earthly life, and dominions they belong to. I didn't read that right. It says in the lower heavens are classified into different grades based on spiritual development beliefs and actions during earthly life and dominions they belong to. The classification includes grades like isolation, fraternity, churches, communities, nations, all mortals, Etherians, second resurrection of the beast, first resurrection of the inorganic heavens, first resurrection of the organic heavens, third resurrection, the dominions named after individuals like Suth, Is, Op, Apollo, Osiris, Abraham, Brahman, Moses, Capelia, and Cosmic. Each has specific reign periods ranging from 2,400 years to 3,600 years. Okay. And I'll just show these so that if you want to stop the video, you can read it. And it's time for the reading of the word. So let me just show you these, and then you can just stop the video and just, if you want to read these, and bless your soul. All right. So the name of the video is Bliss Part 2. We were really knocked out, man, from the video yesterday. And I wanted to pick it up because the brother came on and we just had a good time, man. We had a really good time. So, as you would have it, I didn't more than likely had it, but end up clicking off on it like I always do. So it came from we were in the Bond's Book of Praise. And now I started reading chapter 35, and then the brother came on and we went to, we looked at other verses where he just blessed us tremendously, telling us about our talents and how the Creator, he gives them to us, and then we're going to expand on them in our spirituality or in our spiritual journey. Brother shared about the reality of the Etherian realm, how you could travel for millions of years, man, and still not see you wouldn't even see you still wouldn't be able to see everything. Every day would be better than the day before, if you can imagine that. Now, this is where I'm gonna go up to chapter 36 because I think that's about where we left off. From Bond's Book of Praise. Now, the name of the video is called Bliss, Part 2. And may the Creator bless the reading of His Word. So, verse 1, it says, let me make the screen bigger. See if I can make it bigger. All right. And it says, oh, if only I could sing the songs of your heavens. If only I could sing. Oh, if only I could sing the songs of your heavens. Your sweet places of delight, Hanoshia, Ochima, Riviokim, Petsaides, and Unades, to find earth words descriptive of their delightful holiness and rejoicing in the Almighty. So again, keep in mind that this is the Creator. He telling us these are angels and gods, or I perceive gods, Ethereal gods, and they're trying to tell you the blessedness of where we will be one day. That's what all this is about, man. They can't even find words. They're saying. Verse 2 says, "Oh, if I could display their mountains and valleys and their wide plains, their shining waters and their forests and their stalactites, stalactites, and innumerable high arches, their billions of angels, full of joy and loveliness, their wonderful music poured forth in your praise, Jehovah. They're dancing, millions in a dance. They're boating in swift excursions like dots in unison flying forth, mighty in power, gleeful, full of romance, high in the grade, spotless, pure, every one a flower, a star, diadem in the kingdom of the Almighty. Oh, if I could sing of the order of your heavens and of the wonderful roadways from one to another, how you have planted elements in your kingdoms, ever trying the skill and knowledge of your angels, where genius and wisdom always lead in your ways, Jehovah." And I covered this, I read this yesterday, and it's like the Creator, he he it's like he says to the angel, "Show me what you can do. Show me something, you know, let me see you utilize the gift that I gave you. Do something you've never, show me something. How, show me what you can do with the gift that I gave you." It's like he's inviting them to wow him with something, how they are able to use their gift. Verse 5, he says, "Who but you, O Father, could create these never ending varieties of heavens, these wonderful plateaus, suitable habitations for the spirits of the dead, ever providing the higher to lift up the lower, in system and good discipline, displaying the wonders of the Almighty? Oh, if only I could sing in the words of the understanding of mortals, and to those who have been called sinners and most wicked, who have become in time like diadems in your crown, Jehovah, sparkling bright with perfect holiness." So there it is. That's how Creator, that's how he reformed people. I mean, to me, it just sounds right, man. The only way you can reform the human heart is to blow it away with love and uh, with grace, with tenderness, with understanding, with mercy. And people, I can't recall ever seeing someone who couldn't respond to that. I mean, you can even see wild animals, man. They respond to love, loving kindness. Wild animals. You got videos where they live with people, you know? I mean, everyone, that's the only way that you're going to be able to legislate the human heart. That's the only way, man. You just have to blow them away with kindness, with understanding, with empathy. And that's what the Creator's saying he's going to do. We expect him to blow away, man, with, you know, religion teach you that the Creator, that the way he gets man's affection and understanding is by blowing in the bits. That's man's carnal understanding. Like in this world, there's a saying, some people say something like, "I'd rather be feared than loved." See, that's man's way. I'd rather be feared than loved. And seem like the creator says, I'd rather be loved than feared. And that's what I agree with. I'd rather be loved than feared. I think you get way more out of the spirit when they are willing, when they do it, because it's it's without you know what I mean? It's like when they are self-motivated out of the spirit of love and compassion and empathy and desire for harmony and fellowship with their fellow human. I I don't even think there's no comparison in getting somebody to do something out of fear. We weren't created for that, man. You'll never tell me we weren't created for anything other than that. We ain't even good at it when we under fear and uncertainty and imbalance. You'll never tell me we were made for that, man. You know. Chapter 37, Bond's Praise. It says, Then answered Jehovah to the songs of praise that rose up from his look at it, hundreds of billions of people, man, you know, to the sum of his mighty creations. They just going out of their mind, giving praise for where they live, what they see, the spiritual reality. They say, Peace, my beloved, and great joy. Or this creator, he's saying, Peace, my beloved, and great joy. I've heard your voice of praise. I answer you with millions of new creations, further from the farthest, boundless, millions of years are the works of my hand. I do not go about turning water into wine like a magician or professing to raise the dead, but yet I raise the dead, the souls of the dead, into worlds shining and brilliant. See that? Look at that. Think on that for a second, man. Our people who went on, who are gone, this is where they go to. You know, I don't I don't think that if I'm overstanding this correctly, you know, we got it in our mind that people automatically go to hell. And I imagine some people do by their own choice. Their own choice. I perceive that when you have to go to a false God because you believe in them and you have to slave for them. I mean, remember what we read the other day? What people had to do in order to approach, who was that false God? Was it Luamong, or you know, you got to crawl on your belly for so many miles, and you get to the entrance of the door, and you know it was amazing, man. You got to, you know, what's that word for when you have to lower yourself and put yourself down, you know, and I forget the word that it's called, where you gotta uh you have to, I forget what the word is, where you lower yourself in the eyes of another, and I'm so unworthy, and I know I'm not worth anything, and it is fortunate that you let me breathe. You got to say that to that God in order to just look on the throne. I mean, that's the type of slavery the OAHSPE it talks about. Hey, Fritz, Fritz. It's good to see you, bro. Verse 3 it says, But yet I raise the dead, the souls of the dead, into worlds shining, brilliant, full of loveliness, man. I do not take them backward to toil and sorrow, but upward, onward to heavens of delight that never perish. The world don't really like to hear that a lot. I mean, we're so used to the tetracts, man. It seems like we can't live, man, without hoping that somebody really gets it for the evil that they have done. As long as it's somebody else and not us. I mean, it's like, it's a shame. It's a terrible thing that vibration is here, man, where you just want to see somebody get it, you know? I mean, you know, myself included, man. You know, I'm trying to get out of these chat racks as well. get out of that spirit, want somebody to, creator to step in and strike them. You don't want to get struck, but you want him to strike them. How did we get to this, man? Verse 4, mine is the tree of life, wherever growing, rich in blossoms, sweet perfumes. The dead are mine. The spirits of the dead are my young blossoms full of promise, speaking soul words for the glory of my heavens. Those whom I quicken in the life are mine, and I watch over them, fatherly and in great wisdom, nor do I let them go out of my being forever. And I provide my heavenly places, broad, boundless, so that the soul of man can never reach to their boundary. Verse 6, though they stray for a season, yet I have provided for them to return to me in the end. See? So, even the worst of us, even the worst of the gods, he's talking about every single body, man. They go astray, you know. In man's kingdom, you pay forever. You don't ever, there ain't no hope for you. There ain't no hope for you. You mess up, that's it. There ain't no hope for you forever. That's what Christianity teach. Though they stray away for a season, yet I provided a way for them to return to me in the end, and I make them a banquet and provide them a feast, a home of love with music, dancing, even on the threshold of wisdom. And so that sounded like the creator to me. It sounded like the creator to me, man. There ain't a parent alive, man, who wouldn't forgive their children, even if they were mass murderers. There ain't a parent alive, man, Why would the creator be anything less? And see, again, the opportunity for you as faithists, we read earlier that according to your spirituality, it determines your rank. Now, I don't think the OAHSPE give the impression like go out and just freak out any old kind of way you want. I mean, it sounds like they're the creator is like a father, man. You'll get a recompense according to your actions. And, no chastisement, like it says in the Bible, is pleasant at the time, but afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of, I forget what the word that it uses, of righteousness. No chastisement seemeth pleasant, but afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness. See, the creator's fair, man. If you spent your life going around vexing people, nobody ain't got a good word to say about you, and you think that you're going to just willy-nilly cross over and go into nothing but bliss and blessing, from what I know of the creator, man, you first you got to pay for that. You got to make it up to them. At least that's what, when I read the OAHSPE, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and it makes sense to me, you know. You can't just go out there, beating the hell out of people, treating them any old kind of way because you conceited and you're arrogant and you under the tech racks and you don't care. You don't care how you treat people, man. And you expect them to just forgive and forget. And a lot of people do. I envy those people. That's where I want to get. I want to get to where I just forget. I forget the past. I wish I could forget. Well, I mean, you don't want to forget your family. You know what I mean? But just forget the times of the tet racks, man. But nobody should think that, you get away with it. Your place in the spiritual, remember we read earlier, is determined by your actions. And that's only fair, man. That's only fair. It's really only fair. So get it together now is what the creator's saying. And I think of what Dave said the other day. Man, I'm telling you, I thought about that all night. That is something a Pisces would say. That'll make you think, man. They always can hit you with some deep, deep stuff, man. Remember, he shared about, he said that one time he astrally projected himself. He said he wanted to go to the highest heaven, just zip right up there. And so he went into an astral projection, and he said that he could only make it past, or he could only, I think he said like the first resurrection. And he said he felt the spirit beings looking at him with pity because he had not worked on himself to put away the tetracts. See? He said they looked at him with pity, man, And that one, I considered that. I thought about that, and it gave me new understanding about what this reality is all about. It's about we got to work on ourselves, man. The creator is saying, work on yourself. Work on yourself while you got another day. That's what he's saying. Work on yourself, man. Try your best. Do it today. Work on yourself, man, so that you can receive, like it say in the Bible, a rich welcome, man. A rich welcome home. Everybody jumping and shouting and rejoicing. You made it, man. You made it off the earth. You redeemed the time, brother. You go in the ethereal realm. You made it, man. Call me kooky, but I believe that's the way it goes. I really believe that stuff. In my 60s, believe in that stuff, man. I don't know why, but I do. Verse 7. Do not weep for the dead, O my beloved. Look at it. Don't weep for the dead. Don't weep for a man, Oh my beloved, I have places of delight for the righteous. Look at this, man. Look, full of rejoicing. And the soul of the dead enters into these. As one that emerges from a veil. To shout with great joy for the provisions I created, plentiful and brilliant. I love to think of my dad, my mom, and my sisters, and my cousin Lionel, that this happened to them. I love it, man, and my in-laws. I would think, man, for anybody, man, that this happens to you want the best for everybody. It's better to see people laugh than cry, man, The creator seen you feel the same way. He say, do not weep, man. Now you're going to weep for the dead, You know what I mean? You're going to do it. It says, oh, my beloved. He said, I have places of delight for the righteous. He said, full of rejoicing, wonderful. And the soul of the dead enters into these as one that emerges from a veil. To shout with great joy for the provisions I created, plentiful and brilliant. You know that? I believe that. I do believe it, man. I'm sorry. He said, I have created heaven after heaven as a new surprise of great happiness to my sons and daughters in the way of my resurrection. Rejoice and be merry in holiness. Open your eyes, my beloved, and behold the works of my hands, which I provide. Look at for you forever. See there? Now, this is what I was going to get to, the chapter right here. Now we're going to eat dessert now. Bond's praise, chapter 38. Then answered Jehovah to those who wept for the dead. He said, and I posted this in my room. He said, what I have taken away was mine. And I returned it to the place it belongs. But the soul which I also gave, I carry it to a new region of delight. The spirit of the dead is in my hand, and I raise it up to the delightful places I created for. Yes, it shall find its love and rejoice in my arms because of the glory of my heavens. See there? Let's read that footnote. It says the physical body, that's the footnote, for mine. Physical body was mine. He said, what I've taken away was my physical body. He says he returns it to the place it belongs. But the soul, which I also gave, I carry it into a new region of the delight. The spirit of the dead is in my hand, and I raise it up to delightful places I created for it. Yes, it shall find its love and rejoice in my arms because of the glory of my heavens. Now just think on that for a second, man. You know how it is to fall in love fall in love with a girl, and vice versa, or what you think is love. Those first few months, man, it's just you can't beat it. You can't beat it knowing that there's another soul on the earth that's dedicated to you. See, you think back at those times, man, and you know you can't match it. You can't match it. Crater's saying he's planning that for you for an eternity. How can a person handle that? Is what I would like to know. How would you not bust open? Is my question. How can you handle that? I don't get it, man. I believe it though. It says, in times of my seasons, the soul of the dead shall stand. Look at that. In the times of my seasons, the soul of the dead shall stand by the living and testify to the endless creations which I provided to never perish. He talked about the cosmic era, I believe, right here. He says the soul of the dead shall stand by the living, and it's going to testify of the endless creations which I provided. So those of your family who crossed over are going to come to you, going to witness to you, brother, saying to you, your mom coming back, son. I can't even tell you about the Creator. It's just there are no words to describe the blessing that we have come under, you and all of those who you thought you lost. We have no words for you. All we can do is say to you, son, with all that you have within you, dedicate yourself to the righteousness found in the OAHSPE and any other things that your ashars reveal to you. Dedicate your whole life. Dedicate it. Do it with all your might, all your soul. I know that that's what they would say. Dedicate yourself. Don't be discouraged. Don't give up. Endure all things. Endure it all, brother. Endure it all, son. Endure it all, daughter. I know you can do it. Don't just finish the race. Blow the race away. You blow it away. Don't barely make it, man. Finish wishing that you could run another race right after it. Like a cord that lifts a weight, so shall the soul of the dead be to those who are stricken in sorrow. When we get these visitations, it's going to be like a cord that lifts a weight. A cord that lifts a weight. Man, there ain't nothing that compared to what the Creator has for us. And who knows, it could begin tonight. At the set time, we're going to all start witnessing. And the world is going to, you faith is going to start witnessing, and the world is going to look on and say, hey, man, just like those people at Ahura, at the time under Ahura, and his host came before the Ethereans, they put on a show for him. They didn't even get finished with the first show, man, and they was bum rushing them gods and angels wanting to sign up for the third resurrection, from my understanding. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, man, but they were sold out after the first show. Remember? The sub god or whoever the gods were, the Ethereum gods, they said, okay, now you show us something. And so they did their thing first, and everybody was wild. The sub gods people, they put on a show and were the Ethereans, and it was a good show. And then the Ethereans said, all right, now we getting ready to do our thing. You know, now we getting ready. We getting ready to show you something, and they couldn't even. They did one show. I doubt if they even got through with it. The people were knocked out, man. You know, I'm paraphrasing. They gave them a little taste, man, of the power and the wisdom and the glory of the Ethereum realms, and they were knocked out. They were knocked out, man. They wanted to subscribe right. Couldn't wait, man. Matter of fact, OAHSPE said they were demanding entrance. You know what they have to do. Just show us what we have to do to be a part of you. You know. See, it says in verse 38, verse 4, he says, and I will uncover my heavens for those and my angels who shall come down from my exalted kingdoms by the light of the line of their love, and they shall rejoice in the way of my dominions and glorify me in my works. He said, each day at the setting of the sun, for 3 days you shall assemble and sing for the soul of the dead, remembering his virtues and great praise. Then you shall deliver his spirit to my Asaph. So, you know what? This reminds me of something I read in the OAHSPE, where it says that we cross over and we sit 3 days by the body. Does anybody remember that? We sit 3 days. Matter of fact, you want to try to find that real quick? Let me see if I can do it without messing something up. Let me see if I can find it without messing something up. Let me try it. I haven't shared the tab yet because I haven't found it. It says 3 days by the body. And this must be what's going on. The angels singing and giving praise. I don't know how that works, but let's see if we can find it. Now, it's got 40 mentions, 48, 51, so it might be a little too numerous. Let me share the tab. It's a mystery. He says that we sit 3 days by the body. And this account that we just read must be what's happening during that time. Look at Elizabeth Weaver's smile. She's a Libra. There's that Libra smile. That's my sister. That's the Libra smile. So let's see if we can find it. 3 days, it says, that we sit by our bodies. Let's see if we can find it. It's a mystery, man. You know? I hope I can find it, man. It's a lot of mentions. There's 51 mentions. It's going to be kind of hard to find, I think. Trying to find it. I will. 3 days. Mahalia, sister, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh man, shoot. I don't know if I'm gonna find it. It says that we're gonna sit 3 days by our body. I'm doing a word study. I'm doing trying to let me make the screen bigger. Yes, you're late, young lady. You know what that means, right? You face a detention if it happens again. I'm telling you right now. All right? I know cancers hate detention. So you just watch it, young lady. Oh man, shoot, I ain't gonna be able to haul you. Okay, I'll let you slide. You got a tear by your eye there, but you better watch it next time. Okay, let me see. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. Shoot, man. It says that we will fit 3 days by our body. And what I just got finished reading, it probably is telling you what goes on for those 3 days. Trying to find it. I think this is where the narrative of Jesus Christ, 3 days and 3 nights in the ground. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, man. Let me see. Yeah. But after 3 days, let me see. Until they have wisdom and strength to get away, but after 3 days, you shall no longer desire the spirit of the dead to remain with you. Rather, you shall say, "No, that's not it." It looks like this would be an interesting study. 3 days. 3 days looks like it would be an interesting study. Behold, the time has come for me to rise out of Hado, where I have dwelt for 3 days. And his spirit shall not be allowed to remain longer than 3 days, 3 nights. Fifth divine law. Is this it right here? The fifth divine law. If the Essene, which is a young spirit, is a Zarathustrian, his spirit shall not be allowed to remain longer than 3 days and 3 nights with his mortal kindred. I don't get that. That's not what I'm looking for. It says, and then he shall be taken to his place in heaven, given into the keeping of the Asaphs, who shall explain all things to him. That is interesting, though. I know it's talking about Faithus. It says when we cross over, we're going to be given 3 days. It says, let me see. I mean, is that what y'all get? Do y'all see? Do y'all understand it the same way? It's a divine law, which is the parliament. They made a law. They say if the Essene is a Zarathustrian, which is what we are, it says our spirit shall not be allowed to remain longer than 3 days and 3 nights with our mortal kindreds who are not Zarathustrians, I think is what it's saying. If they weren't Faithus, if they're not Faithus by the time we get back to them, it seems like it's saying that we're going to be allowed to remain no longer. We will not be allowed to remain longer than 3 days and 3 nights with our mortal kindred. Do y'all see it that way? Let me do what I never do. Let me do what I never do. If you see it that way, type of one. I never engaged the chat that way. I don't know why, but I'm gonna see. Do you, brethren? Do you see it that way? Is this saying that we won't? Do you think it's saying that we will not remain longer than 3 days? I mean, is that right? Do I have the right understanding? Type of one, if that's the right understanding. It says, and then he shall be taken to his place in heaven. It seems pretty straightforward. And giving to the keeping of the Asaphs, who shall explain all things to him. It sound right, don't it? Anybody else see it this way? Type of one. Type of one. How many people are in this room? Let me see. How many people? Is it just the two of y'all? Or let me see. I never watched I don't never look at it. There's four of y'all. Okay, so that's good enough then. Nobody else has to do anything, you know. But that's very interesting, ain't it? Yeah, Mahalia, you can only visit them. And think about that for a second. Isn't that something? And then he shall be taken. It says we crossed over. And it's like we catch up with our kindred, but we can't stay with them. We can't stay with them because they haven't, it sounds like it, they haven't become Zarathustrians or Faithists yet. It sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like. That's very interesting. But I would be glad to see my relatives. I would be glad. I would still be glad. That's good enough for me, man. As long as if I can't be with them always, I can only see them from time to time. That would be good. That would be cool with me, just so long as I can see them. You know, I don't know if I could find that what I'm looking for, the 3 days where we sit by our bodies. I'm still looking for it right now. I'm trying to quicken it up. I'm getting close to the end of the reading of the word. I don't think I'll be able to find it. Shoot. After 3 days, 3 days, 63, 3 days, in which matter, 3 days. I don't think I'll be able to find it. And after 3 days, God declared a recreation of 3 days. At the end of 3 days, the trumpet. Each day it's setting the sun for 3 days. You saw. Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it, brethren. Thank you, Creator. I found it. I found it. This is it right here. I forget what the paradars are. I forget what they are. I think they're like receivers of the body or something, or I think it's like you staring yourself in the face, or see, Asana says makes one think of the 3 days. I beat you to it, Asana. I beat you to it. I beat you to it. Saying that. Here it is right here. This is what I was looking for. Look what it says. I forget who the paradars are. I forget who they are. Anybody know in the chat, share it with the rest of the chat. The paradars, I think it's like you facing yourself in a mirror. I forget. Anyway, let's read it real quick. It says paradars, an angel, a bird, a picture are as one looking in a mirror sees himself. That which he sees reflected is paradars. Thus, when a pure man dies, his soul remains for 3 days. Look at that. When a pure man dies, pure man, woman, when a pure man dies, his soul remains for 3 days near the head of his corporal body. Check it out. Reciting prayers and anthems. But on the fourth day, he wakes to his condition and rises and goes forth. How do you like that? Yeah, that's what I understand too, Mahalia. We ascend at different levels, but it seems like whatever level we ascend to, we spend 3 days. We spend 3 days near the head. Now, is it talking about us? Thus, when a pure man dies, his soul remains for 3 days near the head of his corporal body. That's your physical body. He says we're reciting prayers and anthems, but on the fourth day. And the fourth day, there's a fourth dimension that the OAHSPE mentions. The fourth dimension, from what I understand, is like if you're tied to the earth and then you cross over, well, it's the same, I think, with everybody, but in the OAHSPE, it mentions the fourth dimension is where if a person is tied to the earth, you say you're tied to the earth, you cross over, you're still tied to the earth. It's called the fourth dimension. It says you're still tied to the earth. It says on the fourth day, he wakes to his condition and rises and goes forth. The first living creature he sees is a paradar. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. Oh boy, I love this one. It says the first living creature he sees is paradars, a female, a flying person of great beauty. He salutes her, inquiring, "Who is she?" "Who are you?" She answers him, saying, "I'm your own soul and good thoughts. I am the law you have built on the corporal earth. Behold me, I am yourself. And now you see your own self. I am most beautiful because of your earth thoughts were beautiful." Oh boy, hot dog, man. That's what I would say. "I am pure because your earth thoughts were pure. Put away yourself and come inhabit myself. I am the part that can ascend to nirvana, the second heaven. You are the part that dwells as a druid, a bound spirit. On the fifth day, the pure man puts away self and inhabits the paradise. So ascends and becomes the Lord in heaven." So, Elizabeth, when you cross over, and I met this dude, and you see Tom Selleck, real nice dude too, man. Okay, I'm gonna digress for a second. I was in that movie called some prison movie, along with the rest of the ugly mugs, and I went outside to get a drink of water, and then I looked up, and he was just standing right there. So we started talking with nobody else in the hallway. So Elizabeth, you crossed over, and then Tom Selleck gonna be saying, you're gonna say, "Who are you? Who the hell are you?" And he's gonna say, "I am you." You know, Mahalia. Oh, I ain't forgot about you. Denzel Washington. Mahalia gonna cross over. She gonna say, "Who are you?" He gonna say, "I'm you." Hey, that's what it sounds like here. You know, that's what it sounds like. I am your own. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. This is just incredible. This type of stuff, man. See. So your thoughts. Let your thoughts be pure, man. Let them all be good. Let them all be good. Think good thoughts. Man, it's hard. Them tetracts, the tetracts, they love being evil. It feel good being evil. You know what I mean? Oh man, get rid of them. Let's all of them get rid of them. Let me see. You asked for me. Who's my woman? Let me see. Let me see. Now I know I could think of somebody. Let me see. A Libra can't make a decision. That's another thing. That's why, you know, we can't make decisions. Am I right, Elizabeth? Elizabeth, can we make decisions? Am I right or wrong? I'm gonna wait on Elizabeth. I want her to answer that. Can we make decisions? Say no. Make sure you say no. Okay. Let me wait for her to answer. Okay. There it is. There's my witness right there. She's saying, right, we cannot make decisions. So I don't know who my woman would be. Okay. Thanks, Elizabeth. She bailed me out. Because we love everything that look good, man. Libras. we're vain in that way. We like good looking, and what we say is good looking. The world may say, but you gotta be kidding me, man. She looks like Quasimodo, and you like her? Hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, brother. You know what I mean? But I love the thought, man, of my woman, my soulmate, beautiful in my eyes. Hey, you know, even a warthog loves her children. Would you want, you gotta love it, man. Thus will conclude the reading of this word. Mahal, you said Denzel is taken. No, it's not true in the spiritual. You know, he's up for grabs. He's up for grabs, sis. You just purify your thoughts. You know, you'll get somebody to look better than him. Maybe Carl Weathers. Does he look good to a woman? Carl Weathers. He was the boxer in Rocky. I don't know who you women think. I don't know who the latest flavor of the month is. And then let me see. ASAN says, "No, you rich." I don't. You talking about when you said that the 3 days was talking about Jesus Christ? No, I beat you to it, sis. I beat you to it, man. Don't try to Leo. Leo. Hey, Elijah, who's your dream woman? The reading is over with, so let me get a little silly. It's Friday. Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun, man. Who's your dream woman, Elijah? I'll tell you if I agree with you. Remember, it said here your beautiful thoughts, they manifest into your beautiful woman. Mahal, you said Fidel. Oh, you like Fidel Castro? You know his son is Justin Trudeau, right? Of Canada? Prime Minister of Canada. You know that's the son, right? Mahalia Naturals. We see Elijah now. He an Aquarius, so we got to treat whatever Elijah say with a. Let me see. He says I'm more into. Now, who's ever heard of CA? Is that a famous movie star? See, that's an Aquarius answer. I'm more into COD. Nobody knows what it is, and it's probably something that's not even created yet. I'm more in the calm, reasonable woman. Okay, I got you. But you got to name somebody, brother. Name somebody. Don't be scared. Mahalia says, yeah, Justin Trudeau. That's his son. Here, let's take a look at Mahalia's man. Okay, let's have a little fun. Justin Trudeau. Okay, this is who Mahalia like. Justin Trudeau. See, that's her man right there. Those are her thoughts. See, those are her thoughts right there. You know, see, I'm embarrassed of Mahalia. Look at him, buffed out, brother. Handsome. Come on, Elijah. I ain't letting you get away with it, man. What do you mean, no, Mahalia? No, what? Come on, Elijah. Let's have a name, brother. I'm putting you on the spot. Oh, I think he's getting a divorce. Mahalia. Uh, so he up for grabs. Oh, you like his strength? Okay. Well, Cuba. Okay, Mahalia said Haley Berry. All right. Let's look at Haley Berry. Haley. Halle Berry. Halle Berry. right. Yeah. All right. That's Elijah's woman. Those are his thoughts. That's Elijah's thoughts right there. Halle Berry. Hey, what about you, Elizabeth? I want to hear who are your thoughts? I've forgotten about you. Ace and F, I'm coming to you after Elizabeth. So get ready. Well, just get ready. All right. Your turn, Elizabeth. Let's hear it. Come on, chop chop. Let's hear it, Elizabeth. Who is your dream? Who is your dream thoughts? Come on, sister. See, now she's gonna check out of the room. Halle Berry. All right, Elijah. Very pretty. Just pretty eyes. Yeah. All right. Come on, Elizabeth. She's out of the room. Let's hear it. Let me see. Mahalia says, do we have a new husband? You now I know you an American woman. Let me see. Okay, so Elizabeth says married. So Billy. Oh, she's Elizabeth is married, but she said she would take Billy Weaver in his 30s. I think is what she's saying. So let's look at Billy Weaver in his 30s. Billy Weaver. Billy Weaver in his 30s. Billy Weaver. Okay, is that him? Billy Weaver. Billy. Okay, let's go. Let's look at images. Okay, that's Billy Weaver. Uh, well, I guess he's all right. You know, is it this Billy Weaver? Is it him? Oh, he would be too old. No, and he crossed over, so it's not him. Linda said no, no. Let me see. So, well, is that Billy Weaver? No, that's Cary Grant. Billy Weaver. So this is Billy Weaver. That's Elizabeth's man. Or no, not that. Billy Weaver. This one. This guy here. Won't give you the picture. Wonder why it won't give you the picture. Keep clicking on it, but it shows that lady. Okay, maybe this one. Will it show his picture? No, it keeps showing this. It won't even let his picture come up. It must be this guy here that she's talking about. He looks about in his 30s. Billy Joe Weaver. Okay, lives married to him. He's Italian. Are this your husband right here? Oh, is somebody on Facebook? Is this him right here? Oh, no, wait a minute. He was 83 years old. Well, it's somebody on Facebook. Okay. Okay. So, okay. All right. So we'll let you slide, Elizabeth. All right, Ace and F. Ace and F. Who are you going to meet in in uh in heaven? Ace and F. Let's hear it. Come on, chop chop, Ace and F. Who do your thoughts look like? That's one of the miracles I heard too, was that, the children look like the thoughts of the mother. Has anybody ever heard that one? The children resemble the thoughts of the mother. Yeah, that's what I heard. I gotta put the screen back up. I messed. Oh, I gotta share the screen. I've got to share the screen. Come on, Miss Eighth and F. We don't have all day, young lady. Let's have it. Let's have it. The whole room is waiting on you. Who are you? Who are your dream thoughts? Who is that person that resembles your dream thoughts? I still haven't decided for me. Oh, you know what? Now somebody did come to mind. Somebody did come to mind. I'm going to surprise y'all. I'm going to shock y'all. I think she might have been my first crush. I think y'all going to laugh at me for this one, but I'm going to do it. I can't believe I'm doing this. I cannot believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. Hold on. I'm not sharing the screen yet. Yep, I finally remember. And when I say that she scared the hell out of me, you're going to know why. I'm saying that can anybody have a possible guess who this woman is? Who Yaquab had a crush on? Can anybody possibly guess? Somebody would probably get it if I gave you a little clue. If I said that she'll scare the hell out of you, who would you think I'm talking about? Who would you think I'll give you 15 seconds. Who does anybody possibly have a clue who I could be talking about? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this person right here. Linda Blair. Y'all remember her? Linda Blair. Linda Blair, man. Remember that movie, The Exorcist? Oh, I clicked on a picture. It didn't show it. Remember her? Linda Blair. The Exorcist? That movie, The Exorcist? I don't know why, man. It's just some people, they just, I don't know. You know, they just put an image on your brain, you know? Yeah, I really fell for her. I don't know why, though. I don't know. That's the way it worked. All right, we had a little fun. That was cool, That was cool. Ace and that, she chickened out. She wouldn't say. She wouldn't say who her dream thoughts are. But that's all right. We'll let her slide. We'll let her slide. I'm going to go ahead and close the video. Brethren, I had fun. The reading just, oh man, this is a perfect Friday for me. Perfect, 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 man. Thank you, brethren, for joining me. Oh man, I want to thank the Creator for that word. Very, very comforting. Pray that you brethren were edified. I pray that the Creator will bless you. And no videos for Saturday and Sunday. I like to take the weekend off. Be back Monday, Creator willing. Brethren, click on the links in the description box. Brethren who are not fellowship with anybody, you should get with one of those groups. And then I know that I like to share with the different ones. And so anyway, for now, that's the best I can do. Thanks for joining me, brethren. Until I see you again on video, pray the Creator bless you with peace, love, wisdom, and endurance. And until I see you again, peace be unto you. Shalom.